Oh my gosh. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Michelle.
Oh, it's so nice to be here again with you. This is just too exciting. I'm so excited to be sitting here with you. Everybody, welcome to New Earth Rising. It is our new channel where we are bringing through all of the messages that are needed to be brought through on our earth into our hearts, our minds, our souls at this time. And I'm so blessed to know this beautiful woman right here, Sharon Kumara. It's weird. I had someone the other day say, "How long have you known Sharon?" And I went, "Oh my God, like thousands of years." It's so beautiful to come back together with someone who's so much in my soul already. And Sharon, thank you for coming into my life. You have blessed me in so many ways, and I'm excited to be here to talk about you and who you are and your experiences, what you're doing in this world. I know that you're a healer and a teacher and this magnificent master being who is truly here during these particular times to assist humanity. And so we're here to find out all about you so that everybody else can find out and the word can roll out and the world can be blessed by your presence.
Oh,
That is my intention. And so, Sharon, tell us a little bit about you. Let's start out with like what do you do? We're going to start with the busy part.
okay.
Website, what do you do? What are you offering? And then we're going to move into what you are, who you are, what got you here.
Oh, well, thank you, Michelle. Bless you, bless you. I love you so much. And as soon as we met, we knew that we had known each other for quite a while. We have so many connections, so many parallel things in our life. And we always find our tribe, don't we?
We do. So
Yeah.
it's almost like, oh, there she is.
Okay, so a little bit about me and what I do is I am very blessed to be able to bring my gifts and abilities into the world within the metaphysical realm. And that is, I'm a psychic medium. I have a practice in the Portland, Oregon area as a psychic medium, channel, hypnotherapist. I specialize in past life therapy because I believe that past life therapy is probably one of the most important ways we can heal what we have brought for as we heal what we have brought forward, the programming that keeps us from moving forward in life. And there's no better time than to heal than now. It's so important to heal now. It's always now, right? But we are in that times that we were just talking about before we came on, that it's how important it is that we let go of our baggage, right? And lighten our load and realize that we have been um, kind of dragging along lifetime after lifetime
Yeah.
for lots of reasons, right? So the time is now. So that's what I'm about. And I teach workshops. I have an academy where I help. It's called the Kumara Academy of Transformation. And I teach workshops, and I'm working on getting other teachers and practitioners as a part of my academy as well. And I teach right now. I'm in the middle of a psychic and mediumship, excuse me, development course. I teach courses on out of body experiences and lucid dreaming, so that we can realize our what we're doing out of this body, out of this physical reality, and helping us to realize that we are multidimensional and we're doing so much more in the higher planes that we can even imagine. So, and also dream interpretation, I've realized how important it is to understand our dreams. I mean, uh, there's so many cultures that put a lot of importance on
Yeah.
dreaming, and they talk to their kids in the morning and say, hey, where did you dream last night? Let's talk about your dreams. We just in the Western world got away from that. So it's really important. Yeah, this is what my guys taught me as well. And so that's what basically some of the things I do. I'm also a paranormal investigator. Paranormal is kind of an old-fashioned word, but that type of investigator where I my goal is to bring the spirit world and the physical world, merge the two so that we know that we don't die, we just transform, and there is no death.
Right.
So when we think we lose someone, we just lose the physical part of them. They're always around us. Yeah. And let's see what else. And I have another YouTube channel called Ascension with Sharon Kumara. Well, I have really Michele has been on my channel there, and some really great guests and lots of cool fun stuff. My websites are sharonsanana.com, kumaraacademy.com, and we'll have it down in the details. So
I was just going to say, we'll have all the links down there.
yeah, totally.
That is awesome. You do so much. And, you've really inspired me, Sharon, to get my ducks in the row, and so it's just, when I look at all that you're doing, it's absolutely amazing. You have got your act together in what you're doing. It's so impressive. And it's so impressive, the quality on top of the quantity of what you put out there. You are an amazing teacher. You've had amazing experiences. Some of the information, the knowledge, the wisdom that you bring through is not just what everybody's talking about. I mean, it is really elevated stuff. Where did this start with you? Like where did this start coming in?
I'm going to say about 20 years ago. Well, it started around 98. It started in 98, basically, when my stepfather passed. I was raised Catholic. Didn't really, the Catholic teachings didn't really satisfy my curiosity. Not that I had an insatiable curiosity, but of what happens when we die. But when I lost someone close to me, and I was very close to my stepfather, then I needed to know what happens when we die.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that it's either heaven or hell, and he just disappears, and I can't, communicate with him, because there was something inside me that knew better. And so I started buying books on mediumship, George Anderson and James von Prague, and from that time. And I'm like, okay, well, this makes more sense. And then I started having spontaneous out-of-body experiences with sleep paralysis, and I started leaving my body. And then, because I'm a prolific reader, I love to read. I have 3 or 4 books that I'm reading at a time. And so I began finding books to help me understand what out-of-body experiences are, because I didn't know anything about them. I just came across something on the internet that actually correlated sleep paralysis with out-of-body experiences, because I was having sleep paralysis, which is really scary.
Yeah, I've had that before. It is scary.
If you don't know what it is, it's scary. But then I learned that it's a precursor to leaving your body or coming back to your body, because our body has a mechanism, whatever you want to call it. It has something within it to put us in that in the REM state, put us in a paralysis state, so we don't act out our dreams when we're in the dream state.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're basically paralyzed because of that. If we wake up during that state, then what I was going through was I feel I'm paralyzed, but I'm awake in this state. And so I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I feel a presence in the room, I feel like someone's sitting on top of me, those types of things. When I realized that it was what was called sleep paralysis, and my mind was making up all kinds of stuff. And also I felt, it was probably my etheric body or my astral body in the room, either coming or going, we're moving up and out of frequency. So there's so many explanations for it. It's just the conscious mind always has to go to the scary part when it doesn't understand, right? So anyway, I started reading every book I could get my hands on out-of-body experiences, and was doing the exercises. I was very determined, and I still am. I've journaled over 1,000 out-of-body experiences, and I practice every night, and it is my goal when I leave my when I fall asleep and leave this realm, when I leave my physical senses to travel in the higher realms, and I have a life there. I also
Wow.
I have experiences where I'm on ships, I'm with extraterrestrials, I'm with my guides, my mentors, and other planets, and so I can do that type of thing because I've trained myself. So I started learning, and I wanted to find my dad, and I did find him.
Wow.
Yeah,
How did you find him?
with practice and intention. Yeah, I
Wow.
know. He was so funny. He was the first experience I had with him when I found him and he approached me and I knew it was him. He was wearing like from the 20s, where they call them zoot suits.
Oh
He had the
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
hat and the
yeah.
suit, and because he was really sick when he passed. He had lung disease, and he
Oh.
looked young and he looked happy, and he made me laugh, and that he was really good at that. So that was the first time I saw him. Yeah, now I see him quite often. Now
Oh,
it's just not a
wow.
big deal because he's there all the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then my mother passed, and then my biological father, and so I was wanting to connect with them, and I was able to. Yeah, my mother showed up when I went to connect with her. She showed up with pigtails, and she was on Venus, and she had a rough time in this life. And I asked her, I said, Mom, do you like being on Venus more than being on Earth? And she said, yes, being on Earth is like being stuck in the mud.
Oh, it
Which
makes sense.
makes sense. Yeah.
Wow. That was in like 1998.
It started around 1999. My dad passed in September 4th, 98. So 99, 2000 is when I started getting really heavy into being able to travel on a regular basis. And I joined an online group, and we would
Wow.
do group journeys where we would meet together. And I've been doing that off and on since then with other groups and my own groups. So, and we get lots of hits. Yeah. So I've been
Oh,
doing it ever since then. Mhm.
I want to do that with you.
Of
Um,
course.
so fun. And so when you were learning how to do this, you were reading books and that kind of stuff. Did you have any mentors that helped you? It came really natural to you, didn't it?
It must have. Well, I believe that it did because of my childhood.
Mm.
And I didn't remember my abusive childhood until my near-death experience in 2001, which I'll share. Yeah. Yeah. Because I always knew something. I could not remember any of my childhood at all. And I have a sister. We grew up together, but she remembered a lot of things. And I'm like, I don't even remember that. There was one or two things from my early childhood, little snippets of fun times or something like that
Right.
that I may remember, but pretty much almost all the time, especially at my grandmother's house where we lived when my parents got divorced, I have hardly any memory, except making her chase me around the house because she wanted us to go to church and I didn't want to go to church. I do remember that, but
It was the awakening was already going
yeah.
on.
Right, yeah.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh.
she was so funny though. She would fall asleep in church and snore, and we say, "Grandma." She's like, "I'm meditating."
Oh my God, I love it. Here, let's go to church while I take a nap.
I take a nap, yeah. But we have to sit there, and be all squirmy and hate it, but and be bored out of our minds.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
so nothing against the Catholic Church. That was just my experience. So, so then yes, I in 2001, I lived in San Antonio, Texas, and I went tubing down the Guadalupe River, New Braunfels, Texas, with some girlfriends for a birthday, for one of my friends' birthday. And we had a really nice day. So I'm glad it happened after that. But we had a really nice day. And we got on the shuttle bus to go back to our cars. And it was one of those little school buses, okay, that was shuttling us back and forth. And the school bus was carrying a trailer, pulling a trailer.
With the boat on it, probably.
No, there was no boat. It was full of our ice chests and our inner tubes.
Oh,
One of
the
those
inner
types.
tubes.
Yeah, one of those types of trailers. And as we pull away, well, when I started to get on the bus, I realized that the bus was full. I was the first one of our group to get on the bus, and the bus was full. It only held like 15 or something. And I turned around to get off, and they said, no, come on, you can stand up. So we'll make room, you can stand up. So we piled on, and I was against the back door. And as he's driving, and my friends were in front of me, and as he's driving down, and they piled on more people, as he's driving down the road and changing gears, the back door pops open, and I fall out of the bus, the back of the bus. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I remember I hit the trailer. I remember all of it. I hit that part of it anyway. I hit the trailer hitch, hit my back, bounced onto my side, and the trailer ran over my head at that point.
Oh my God, Sharon.
And I remember screaming in my mind, stop, you're killing me. And this is what I remembered later. This is when I popped out of my head. Okay. I popped out because he did kill me, basically, or not, he didn't kill me, but the situation killed me. Okay. And I popped out of my head. What happened was I could see my body. I'm floating there, and I'm not far above the scene, and I see my body laying on the ground, and I see a big bus coming on the road, and I'm thinking, oh, I hope that bus doesn't run over that my body, because I knew that was my body. I hope it doesn't, because that's really going to mess up that body. But I had no attachment to the body. And then I thought, oh, this is really, I knew I had died. I knew I had, that it was my time, kind of thing. Because we've done this many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And I thought, whoa, we had such a great day. We had so much fun. This is going to really ruin my friend's day. Here I go and die on them. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sad, but I knew this was really going to mess up their day. That's what I was thinking. This is going to
Put a
mess
dent
up
in the joy.
This is going to mess up their day. Yeah. Right?
Wow.
I know, right? And I was thinking about, and my mom was still here, and I was thinking about my relationship, and thinking, oh, he'll be fine without me. He'll be sad for a little while, but he'll be fine without me. And then I was thinking about my sister and her family. I said, oh, they'll be really sad, but it's, it'll be okay. They'll be fine. And I thought about my mom, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. My mom's not going to be so good. And that's when I felt my stepdad behind me. And I turned around, and I had this intuition anyway to turn around and take my attention off the earth plane, because I didn't want to. I got kind of bored after a little while of watching what was going on.
Mayhem.
So I'm like, I knew,
There was probably mayhem
Yeah.
going on. Oh
Yeah. And so I turned around, and I saw my stepfather off in the distance a little ways. And he's telepathically telling me, like, no, it's not your time, that kind of thing. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It is. I didn't like what he was telling me. And so, but I was very happy to see him. And he kind of turns, and I see what looks like a I don't know if it's a portal or a tunnel or something like this, or just, yeah, it was like that. And there's people that I recognize as my ancestors from this life and beyond, that are lined up there. And I start to move toward it, and I'm moving a little bit, but I get the feeling that I'm not supposed to be going. Okay. They're not really they don't have that joyful thing like, oh, you're home, they're just kind of there looking at me. And then in the distance, I see what looks like a huge sun, golden sun, very bright. It's like looking at the sun, but it doesn't hurt your eyes. Okay. But just so beautiful. And I see a figure come out of that sun and toward me. Yeah. And I recognize him right away, that it's Yeshua, Jesus.
Mm.
Whew. And so I fly to him. That's what I do. Yeah.
Wow.
And we embrace. Ooh, I'm starting to.
He's here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we embrace. How you describe being in Yeshua's arms, right?
Yeah.
The thing that stood out the most to me, and it took me a little while to remember this. It took me a couple years to remember bits and pieces of it. Okay. And I put it together, and there's no really linear timeline with it.
Yeah.
That you can, put that together. But I remember, it just came to me so clear. And he tells me like what Dad told me. You'll need to go back, that type of communication, because it's telepathic. And and I'm telling him, no, I want to stay with you. And I remember his laughter is what I remember so much, is his laughter. There was a point when I was in the light. I could not put my finger on when that was, whether it was when I feel like it's when he embraced me, but it was so intense. It took me a little while to remember that. I can't describe the the feeling of the love and compassion and just total adoration for us.
Yeah.
For us. If I was smiling so wide, I thought my face was going to break, even though I wasn't in the physical body. I really thought my face was going to break.
Oh my gosh.
My whole body was filled with light. It was tangible. It was filled with this love, and it was just pure joy, pure bliss and joy. So he communicates to me that he wants to take me on a journey. And so he takes my hand, and we it's hard to describe this too, because I feel like we went through the cosmos, but I don't feel like we went anywhere. I see, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. It was instantaneous, but not instantaneous. I can't describe it. Where, I see stars, and I see all this. So I guess as I'm unpacking everything, I realized what's really going on, right? Over the years, he needed to show me where he was taking me. So he was intuiting to me that we're flying through the cosmos, when we probably were just moving from one frequency to another, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And also, what thought just popped into my head?
Mm-hmm.
We're taught in higher teachings that everything is within us.
Right.
So it's like we're not going anywhere.
Right.
But we are.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it's that makes total sense. So what he was doing, where he was taking me, or was in deeper, or into a place in my matrix, I guess you could say, where I have a family and I have a life on a water world or a water planet.
Would that be mermaids?
Mhm. Yeah.
I knew you were my sister.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, this is so cool. Go on. This is amazing, Sharon.
Yeah. So, so he takes me there, and in my mind, I see he's intuiting in my mind that we're above the planet, and I see it's this beautiful, beautiful turquoise water planet. Beautiful. And so we're moving down. I don't remember seeing any land out, other than, outside I see it. I only remember seeing water, right? Because people have asked me, did you see the land? I only saw land underneath the water. Okay.
Oh,
Like
okay.
caves and things like that. So then we dive in, which I do a lot in my out of body experiences, by the way. I've seen myself as a mirror in my out of body experiences many times. Yeah, many times. And so we dive in. He's there with me. And we dive in.
Is Jesus a mermaid too?
A merman.
A merman? Of course he is. He must
Well,
be.
why not? Why not experience everything he can experience, right?
I love it. Oh my God. This is so cool.
Well, if he's in all of us, he's experiencing it anyway through us. And his personality, I'm sure, would want to experience everything that, especially all the good stuff that there is to experience, like being a mer or water being, right? Yeah. So he takes me down in the water, and for a second I'm like, wait a minute, I can't, I'm can't breathe. And then it hits me, oh wait, I'm not in the body, for one thing, and I'm a mer. This is my home, one of my homes, one of my favorite homes. And so I don't have to worry about being able to breathe. I know I can breathe. I tell myself I can breathe, which I do in my out of body experiences too. I can breathe underwater. So that then I don't have anything to worry about, because I can. And then I'm met by my family, my mer family, my parents, and I have a mermate, a merman there. A mermate. Yeah.
I love that.
And children, which
wow.
extremely emotional. After that, it was very hard for me because, and he tells me you can come here anytime. And I told him, I mean, I didn't tell him, but I would meditate on it a lot, and that I didn't want to come back. So they'd have to pull me back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so yes, that he took me there, and he helped me understand that this is a mission here on the planet, and once this mission is accomplished, what I chose to do, then I am free to travel the universe, and you know what I mean. And I can make that perhaps my, and if I want to make that my predominant focus of existence, if I want to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. I've talked to a lot of people with NDEs and OBEs, near death experiences, out of body experiences. I've never heard anyone talk about going and being with their mermaid self and their mermaid family and their mermaid life.
No.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love that. So what happened when you were up there? Like how did you get back? What else happened in this?
Well, I remember briefly, okay? I don't remember too much about what happened when, I mean, how do I put it? On the mirror world, as I was experiencing it, I only remember bits and pieces of him telling me it's, you know, it's time to go back, that type of thing. I only remember bits and pieces because I didn't want to go. So I didn't want to bring, my higher self is very kind and didn't want to bring all that pain back.
Yeah.
Right. So then when I do come back to my body, I'm laying on the road.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
can I stop you for a second?
of
Did you
course.
kind of go from being with the mer life and with your mer self and then just kind of back into your body very quickly? Or was there a transition? Because I know a lot of people talk about, oh, they're doing their thing and then bam, they're back in their body, which seems a little harsh, but maybe that's how it needs to be done too. Did you gently go there? How did that? I know you're saying you can't really remember, but
it doesn't feel it. I don't recall it being that gentle. I do remember that I felt no pain, no anguish, no judgment, no worry, nothing. And then I'm back in my body and I feel pain.
wow.
Yeah. So I don't remember being slammed back in my body. I just remember the pain and the shock. Okay. And I didn't remember it then. I had to remember it later.
Yeah.
So I get up and I actually am able to get up, believe it or not. Get up off the road. Yeah. And the bus had stopped by then. So basically what happened was all I had was I didn't have any broken parts. My back, I still have to do maintenance on my back, but I had mainly tissue and muscle damage. And my head, when they took me to the hospital, they were kind of laughing because they said I had tire tracks on my head. So I have a bald spot on my head and this big scar. Well, not, kind of big, about that big, I guess, where the tires ran over my head, and actually where my head hit the pavement. So
wow,
it was ground against the pavement. It just shows how hard-headed I am.
Well, being a Virgo, you would be.
Yeah, right. But anyway, as I'm recalling all this, I remember I had a near-death experience also when I was 9.
Oh my goodness. So how old were you during the getting run over one?
That one. Yes. I was, it was in 2001. So.
Okay. So you were.
It was 40. You make me tell my age.
I know. I'm like, shoot, I'm making you do math and give away your age in one felled swoop. Okay. So you were an adult.
Yes.
Young and luscious and vibrant adult.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, I'm actually proud of my age. But anyway, it was in 2001.
But when you were 9, you did too. Now, when you were, did you know about the 9-year-old incident when you were having the other one, or was it after you had the one in the 90s that you remembered the one when you were younger?
I didn't remember the one when I was younger until Yeshua came to me afterwards, and I started meditating with him. And all these memories from my childhood just came piling up to the surface. Yeah. And so what happened, I didn't remember him meeting me. I did not remember that.
Oh, wow.
In 2001, I didn't remember it. I didn't remember anything until my mother passed.
Wow. So when you had that experience, you came back into your body and you just kind of became human again. You didn't really retain much of that experience at the time, right?
Well, I take that back. I'm not going to say I didn't remember anything. I started having out of body experiences and meditate and memories, but I didn't know, I didn't put them together about what they
Gotcha.
were. If that makes sense. Okay.
Totally makes sense.
Okay. Because I was having out of body experiences. So I was trying to reach this sun. I kept trying to reach this sun. And every time I get close to it, I was back in my body, that type of thing. So little things like that, right?
Like Jesus
Little
is
things.
going,
Yeah.
You naughty, naughty girl. I love you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when my mother passed, actually when my stepfather passed, my mother wanted to try and contact him, even though she wasn't psychic or wasn't in this world at all. But her friend was a psychic, and she suggested that we use a Ouija board. So we bought a Ouija board, which is fine. Ouija boards get a bad rap. You shouldn't be using them as a kid. I'll tell you that. They should not be. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Thank goodness when I used one when I was 13 or something, it didn't even move. So thank goodness. So I was being protected. But they are not meant for children. And you have to, and it's just a tool. It's another tool to contact spirit, and you need to know what you're doing and always protect yourself. So anyway, so we bought a Ouija board, and my mom and I were able to contact my dad, and we found out that when I had my hands on it, it would just move all over the board like crazy. And I knew it was Dad. We could tell it was Dad. He was answering questions nobody would know. And he actually left a voice message on her answering machine when we used to have answering machines, right? So,
Whoa.
yeah, so he was very prolific. He was very strong on the other side, wanting us to know that he was there.
Wow.
Now, one thing that I'm going to share, which is I was a party girl, okay, and so I use alcohol.
We all?
Yeah, I know, right? I use alcohol and drugs to keep stuff down, right? And any pain, especially if you're dealing with pain from your childhood, kind of thing. And a couple of days after my stepfather died, my ex and I would do cocaine on the weekends. Okay. It was, I don't know if it was the next day or the day after. Luckily, I was there when Dad passed. Oh, and I did see Dad when he passed. He came walking toward me. So much to share. And
I know this is so fascinating. I just love it.
I'm kind of going on tangents here, but
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, he was in the bedroom and I was in the front room, and he was in bed and he was on hospice at the time, and I was resting on the couch, and he passed.
Oh, wow.
And I saw him walking toward me. I was just in an alpha state, just a relaxed state. And I'm like, Dad. And he looks right past me, and I hear telepathically him say, how the hell do I get out of here? So, and then he walks like right past me, and I believe that he saw what he needed to see to, past me. The whatever he needed opened up for him, and he was able to move into the light, get off the earth plane, transition. So when I was doing cocaine at the time, which I don't do any drugs and I don't even drink anymore, and he was in the kitchen getting ready to do some cocaine and a line. I don't know why I say it so low. It's just part of my history.
Well, it was our era too.
I never got addicted to anything, but we partied. I partied, and I feel my dad standing next to me, so strong, and I hear him say, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I can't do this," and I never did it since. I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Good girl.
I know.
That's awesome.
I'm really proud of myself, and I believe that he definitely saved my life. I don't know. I could, now that I think about it, because this was 27, I don't know what is, I'm not gonna do over 20 years ago, I could feel something in my brain getting addicted to it.
Mm.
Even though I only did it on weekends, I could just feel, if I was doing it, then I wanted to do it. Yeah. So he saved my life. I believe that he did save my life with that, saved me in some way.
Yeah.
I also believe that he helped save me in the near-death experience in 2001 from, dying or getting hurt a lot worse.
Yeah.
My body. Yeah.
Wow.
So with Mom, and after she passed in 2003, early 2003, April, I decided that I wanted to talk to her on a spirit board. And I was already coming into my gifts at that time, or my abilities, and understanding that, oh, hey, this is cool. I can contact my dad and that type of thing, working with ascended masters, or looking online. I was on forums and things like that, where I was starting to open up spiritually, and understanding, or not understanding, but looking for more answers.
Yeah.
Just more answers, right?
Yeah.
And so every day I was in my backyard. I bought an angel board. I was a spirit board, and I was in the backyard talking to my mom every day, because I missed her so bad. We were really close. And so she tells me, I have a guide here for you that I want to introduce you to. Want to bring, introduce, but bring into your life. And I'm like, oh, I want to talk to you, Mom, because I felt this really strong presence that she was talking about. So I started asking her questions about him. I said, is he ascended master? Come on, your ego's like, is he one of the big guys? Or is he that kind of thing? She goes, he's top shelf. She says he's top shelf.
Oh, I love it.
But finally one day I said, okay, Mom. And I felt her step out and my guide step in. And the love was what I felt in my near-death experience. I cried for, at least a week.
Yeah.
Okay. And he tried to convince me that he was Christ, and I didn't believe him. I'm like, oh, you mean the Christ consciousness, that kind of thing. And so I just started talking to him every day on a spirit board. I was talking to Yeshua, Jesus, on a spirit board. Isn't that funny?
What is a spirit board?
A spirit board. Well, a Ouija board is a spirit board, a talking board. Okay. Yeah, a talking board. Yeah.
I'd never heard that term before. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Okay. It's a tool. And so he saw that I was using this tool to communicate with my mom. So he knew that would be a good way to get my attention, that he could communicate with me. So then I was out there every day. Every day I was talking to him on my spirit board, on my angel board. And then in meditation, he showed me, and we had so many communication every day in meditation. I made a commitment to him that I would be in my room in meditation at 9 o'clock every evening and meditate with him.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was there every evening at 9 o'clock. He taught me about soul retrieval, past life. He showed me so many past lives that I had trauma in, that where my soul was fragmented, and he helped me retrieve all that. And he taught me how to do it and to help others with it. Wow. Yeah. But what convinced me that it was who he is was he showed me an image of Sharon Kumara.
Ooh.
And that's his higher name.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
With the beard and the long white hair, and I went, that's Christ, or that's Jesus. And then it hit me, boom. Oh, that's who you are, who you say you are.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that I wasn't being fooled, because there was so much love and so much that he was teaching me. and then I had and then he was showing me image, as I went into meditation, I had visions of him and I as Mary Magdalene. Now, I'm not saying that I'm the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. What I'm saying is that I have that, I can of that line.
Yeah.
Is what he taught me, right? The Magdalene, and we can all tap into that line if we feel attracted to it, right? If we feel drawn to it, because if we feel drawn to it, that means we're of that line.
Right.
And I think that's part of the 144,000 we were talking about.
Yeah.
Right. That it's this huge exponential wave of light workers that are on the planet.
Yes.
Okay. So I started seeing images of that. And then I know we got off my other near-death experience, but
that's okay. This is fascinating. This is so good, Sharon. Keep going.
I began remembering my childhood. I had visions. They would just start popping up, and it took a little while. I was also keeping down a job, and luckily, well, let me get to that in a second. I remembered my abuse as a child. I was being abused by a family member. Okay. Beat and sexually molested by a family member. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I knew there was something there, but I just didn't know who or what, or I couldn't put my finger on it, and so I would get triggered every once in a while. Something would come up and I'd flashback. The memory is there. Yes. The memory, and I could feel the pain in my body. I could smell the vomit because I'm throwing up because I was a little girl. And I mean, just awful. And so like I was saying, I was keeping down a job, and luckily my higher self is very kind, and I wouldn't get triggered until I would get off work and be at home. Something on the TV would trigger me. Something someone says, so I couldn't watch TV or anything like that. But anyway, they started coming up. All these memories, not all, but a lot of memories came up. And then I saw, this is going to blow your mind, or blew my mind anyway, these 3 extraterrestrials, these 3 gray beings, rescuing me from these experiences.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. There was times when he actually hurt my body so bad that they had to take me on the ship and heal me.
Oh, honey.
Yeah. So there was one time where he's abusing me, beating me in my grandmother's backyard. Okay, and there's never anyone around, and he hit me so hard under the ribs that it killed me. Basically, he broke everything, and I popped out of my body. I was 9. Yeah. And I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's like, there's Jesus.
He's like, are you back again?
This is the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, right?
But that's right.
I'm sure I've done it before. But hey, time isn't even relevant. But and and I'm a little girl, and he tells me, you don't have to go back. Come, my child. And he takes my hand and he says, you don't, and he's kneeling in front of me. He says, you don't have to go back. You've suffered enough. And I argue with him. That's what I'm laughing about. I said, but I haven't finished what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's another thing he told me in 2001. He said, I didn't have time to come back and reincarnate because of what's going on the planet. Yeah. So when I was 9, I said, no, I don't want to have to start over again. Send me back.
What a brave soul.
I guess.
And aware soul, Sharon. Wow.
At 9.
Wow.
Right. So he asked me, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." So then he brought me back. They sent me back, and that's when I felt the pain. I felt so much peace when I left my body. I felt so much because I was, oh, the pain was unimaginable, and then peace. It was only like a second, and then peace. So much peace, no pain, no worry, so much peace. And that's what I remember about that experience when it came back to me. Yeah,
And so then you came back
right.
into that body in pain. Did all of the abuse stop after that?
Not at 9. It stopped when we left my grandmother's house and went to live with, who do we go to live with then? Was it my dad? Yeah, my dad and stepmother when I was 12.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is an amazing story. I can't even imagine what an amazing soul you are, Sharon,
Oh,
to have these I mean, you died and then came back by choice at 9 years old to complete your mission. I mean, if that is not the behavior and consciousness of the master, I don't know what is. That is amazing. And I heard one time, I actually used to work for a psychiatrist. I was actually her accountant. So I wasn't really into any of this stuff. And she was doing a study about people that were psychic. And she kept finding that people who are very psychic and in tune oftentimes have very, very traumatic childhood. And she was finding that there was something in the brain that switches on, is how she described it, when people are abused, that is that part of the brain that is used for the psychic and intuitive and all that kind of stuff. And she was
interesting.
doing a lot of study around that, which was fascinating at the time. And so
Yeah.
with what you endured, it certainly makes sense.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because I know a lot of clients that I see, and I'm sure you do too, um, that are very empathic or very psychic themselves or moving into those abilities have endured, are survivors of childhood abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So
So,
you've had 2 near-death experiences.
mhm.
You do out-of-body work often. Let's talk about that. What do you do? Like, and like, is this was something, and we talked about this before, where I was kind of like, I'm not so sure about all this stuff. And you started telling me about it. I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I am. So doing the out of body experiences and doing remote viewing too, which are 2 different things, but they also can feel rather similar as well from what I understand. Um, so do you study out of body? Do you practice it? Like what does that look like? And how is out of body experiences different from lucid dreaming? Which we haven't really brought up, but I keep hearing that too. Are they the
Mhm.
same thing? Are they different? Can you tell us about that?
Sure, sure. So out of body experiences, and it's kind of a misnomer because I don't feel we really leave our body. We're raising up in frequency, and our awareness is still with us. And we know that our physical body is still in bed sleeping, where we are traveling the world, and we are just as physical, if not more. If we're in the higher frequencies, it's even more, we are more physical.
Oh,
We
wow.
feel things more deeply and more intimate.
Oh,
When
wow.
I took my guide's hand, I can feel every line in his hand. Okay. Uh, so it's just, imagine being in the higher frequencies, because you can move up into the higher frequencies and out of body experiences very easily, as long as you're working on yourself, right? And you're letting
Right.
go of anything that's keeping us heavy vibrationally. So that's an out of body experience. It's more objective. It can be subjective as well, but it's more objective, where um, you're not going through your dream analysis, your dream processing, that type of thing. Okay. Lucid dreaming, on the other hand, is when you're dreaming. And normally when you're dreaming, you're not always, but you're going through a processing. You're processing your day, you're processing what you need to heal, that kind of thing, right? And then, but you become aware that you're dreaming in the dream. And we used to do this when we were kids all the time. It's natural. It's actually, all of it's natural for us. It's nothing
Right.
that we don't know how to do. It's just we forgot how. And so we realize that we're dreaming, and we can create our dream. We can recreate our dream. We can control our dream. We can make it an out-of-body experience. Okay, where because a dream is normally a hallucination. It's more subjective type of thing.
Oh, okay.
We now dreams, we can also have visitations in our dreams that are very real, and that's more of like a out-of-body experience. Okay, but it's in the dream time. But a lot of times we're not really aware that we have a body here in the physical realm, right? Okay, we're just glued on the dreamscape itself.
Right.
Okay? And I come across dreamers all the time, and I ask them, I say, do you know you're dreaming? And they just kind of look at me like I have two heads, are you, and then I'll ask them, are you dreaming, or are you dead, or are you having an out-of-body experience? And I've run across, in the years I've been doing this, I've only run across a handful of people who are actually projectors like me, who are aware that they're projecting. I call it projector because it's easier to say, but astral projection, they're aware that they're projecting their awareness. And I remember one guy where we traded information because we were so excited to see a fellow projector, right? And so I got his name, and I think I put his phone number down, or address, or the state. I can't remember. It was quite a few years ago. And he took my information down. But good luck bringing all that information back. I did remember some of it, but not enough to look him up. But yeah, that was really cool.
So out-of-body experience and astral projection are basically the same.
Yes. It's just another name for it.
I am learning so much. This is so cool.
Nice. So with remote viewing, we're actually sending our mental energy to a situation, okay? To a situation, to a person, whatever it is. And we're not leaving our body. We're sending our awareness. We're not leaving our frequency, our body. I don't know how to describe it, but that type of thing.
Yeah.
We still have our awareness in our body. There we go. Our awareness is still in our body, and we're just sending part of our consciousness there to view what's going on.
And it kind of, it sounds like, it's almost like when we do psychic work and someone says, what's happening in the future, or we can send our awareness there to look at the situation.
Right.
So kind of basically the same thing.
Yes. I would say that's a type of remote viewing, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So the out-of-body experiences, you do this often. Is this something you do on a regular basis? I think what I'm asking is it a practice? Yes. Or is it something you're like, oh, I got a couple hours, I think I'm going to go get out of my body?
No, it's a practice. It's definitely a practice. And that's why I teach courses on it. That's why there's so many books on it, to help you know what to do, to help us know what to do. And we have to reprogram our mind that we leave our body anyway. It's just a matter of being conscious, taking our awareness with us, right? Because when we're not conscious in the dream state, or in that out-of-body state, we're not, well, how do I put it? I would say we're not as productive.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not using that time productively.
Yeah, totally. We don't have this awareness with us. We're not as whole as we could be.
Right.
When we have our awareness there. And I ask people in the out-of-body state all the time, can you tell when I am out of body, when I'm conscious here? Because we're already doing things there, right? So I just click into a scene or a some kind of a situation that I'm already engaged in a higher frequency. So then this part of me merges
Oh,
with that part of me, that multidimensional part of me. And I ask people around me, if whatever situation it is, can you tell when I have this part of me there? And they say yes, that they can tell.
and how?
What I understood, because it's telepathic, what I understood was that I have more of a more light.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
just felt.
right.
It's almost it what I just felt, it was like from the belly,
Hmm.
and more of you is there.
Yeah, it's like having more of us here when we're more centered and that type of thing, and we're bringing in more light. It's like that there, more awareness, more of me is there.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? I
This
love it.
is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I
It
have
is.
another question for you. You may or may not be able to answer this because it's a little bit of sidetrack here. But I know people who, and my daughter happens to be one of them, who is always out of her body. It's like when she sleeps, I will like see her walk down the hallway, and then she'll walk down the hallway, right? And she's been kind of my biggest thing. And she shows up places, and then she shows up.
Hmm.
What is the difference between like an out of body experience, or if there is, and people that are just kind of out of their body unconsciously?
Hmm.
Are they still having out of body, or is this something different? Or you might not even know. It's just I've
No,
always been curious.
no, I get it. I get it. And what I'm getting to is that when we're fragmented, that type of thing, when we've had pain and don't want, and we're not completely in our body in this plane,
Yeah,
then we are, going somewhere before our body, or over here or over there, and it's this,
gotcha.
right? And so everything is this. Everything is our thought process, our mind, right? And so it's just not conscious.
Yeah. So it's
When we're
unconscious
thinking
out of body.
about, yeah, when we're thinking about somebody else, we're sending a part of ourselves there.
Right.
That's why people can see other people, like you can see when she's somewhere else. She's either thinking about it, or but she's not conscious that that's a part of her that's out of her. And yeah,
Wow.
plus that we're doing other things. Since we're multidimensional, when I project to my house, I'll see, my partner doing something, but he's in bed sleeping, right? And he's doing something. And I'm like, what are you doing? I always say, hey, you want to come fly with me? And he's looking at me like, what are you
Oh,
talking about? You don't know how to fly, kind of thing. And so I'm like, okay, just keep doing what you're doing.
clean up the house while you're out of body.
Right.
Put dinner on before I get home.
Yeah, and don't forget to empty the dishwasher. But what is
Oh
it
my
that
gosh.
nothing against men, but they just have a thing about emptying the dishwasher.
I've never known a man who's done it.
Me either.
God bless him. We all have our limitations.
God bless them. Yeah, that's true. But we love
This
them.
is so fascinating. I have learned so much, Sharon. And I know you do like a bazillion things. Um, but
Or
this is amazing. You also communicate with ETs and extraterrestrials as well.
mhm.
Now, did this come about from the out of body, or how did the ET communication come from? I know you had them that rescued you when you were 9. Has
Right.
this been a continual connection and experience since then?
Well, I know they're always with me. When I think of them, I feel that emotion. I feel the connection with them, um, and I also have a lot of memories of being on the ships with them as a child. And now I go to the ships too as an adult, because I'm part of the hybrid program of I have children, and I got to meet or not meet, but be conscious of my granddaughter recently.
Now,
Um,
is this the Mer children?
mm-mm.
Oh,
No, this
another
is
family?
mhm.
And tell us about that.
Okay. So in and out of my experience, I'm just there. Like I said, I'm just there. So I send my consciousness to a realm or somewhere else, and I feel like I'm on a ship, and it's familiar to me. I know I've been there because I know where I'm going, and I'm just as conscious as I am here, and I know that I'm me, and I'm also her, or me, the me, and the her me. And so I walk through these living quarters on a ship, and there's a swimming pool, and there's people in the pool, and I'm walking through the other part, and it's really bright, and the walls are rounded, and a lot of people say that that's how they've seen ships too, and I know that you go to the ships too. We probably go to the same ships, and yeah, and so I I come across my daughter. My daughter meets me, my hybrid daughter. Yeah, and she has her daughter with her, who's 5 or 6, something like that. And I'm talking to my daughter, and I'm saying, so show me what my granddaughter has learned. And she said, oh, yes, let's show you, that it's telepathic. So she's excited to show me. Um, and so she picks her up, and she picks her up by her legs. And my granddaughter has, I forgot to tell you, my granddaughter has pigtails, and she has ears like elves or something like that.
Yay!
Yeah, but she's human other than that, but her hair is really thin. So she picks her up by her legs, and she's saying, well, show your grandma what you can do, kind of thing. And she lets go, and she uses her arms, and she kind of waves them really softly, and she levitates.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what race of ETs these are? Because I know there's so many races we don't even know about.
Right.
And my other question is, does it matter?
I'm not sure it matters, as long as we know that they are here, that we are being, the
Right.
project is for the betterment of humanity, then it matters, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel that definitely. But I do feel that my daughter, I've been told I have 7 children. I do feel that my daughter, yeah, is part, well, she's human, obviously, from me, but I also feel that she's part advanced gray, the higher being, higher gray beings. Now I'll tell you about my granddaughter in a second, what I found out about her. So then after that, I recall I'm sitting with and talking with some women. We're just visiting and talking, and then we're talking about my granddaughter, how it would be tough for her to be on the planet now, because we're talking about having hybrids on the planet.
Right.
And fitting in. That's what we're talking about. Because she's got the ears. Her eyes were also almond shaped, and which isn't a big deal. I think that I don't think that that she would stick out too much with that, but the ears, what we were talking about, how it would be really rough on her, that she wouldn't be able to fit in. And I remember saying, yeah, because humanity isn't really all that accepting of people that are different from them right now, and so, or have been. And so that's what I remember about that experience.
Well, we have had elven races on this planet before.
Mm-hmm.
Is she a hybrid from the Elvens?
Well, about a month later, I'm in my room, I'm just waking up, and I'm in the alpha state. I'm thinking about my dreams, and I'm really relaxed. And in my room and in my mind's eye, I feel them in my room too. I see there's 7 or 8 beings. Now and I kind of scan and look at them, and they're all human looking to me, except for the last one. And he's wearing, and I even drew him, but he's wearing a cloth over his face. Okay. And
I
he
just,
has the ears. He
I
has
just
the
had
ears.
this horrible thought. He's being good. He's wearing his
He's wearing
mask.
it. I know, right? That's what I thought at first. Okay, well, that was strange. All right, but but he has the ears, the same ears as my granddaughter. And he's wearing he has gray robes on and a gray hat, like a Merlin hat kind
Oh,
of thing, but soft, you know? And I get this intuition from him that he is my granddaughter's father.
wow.
I felt so much emotion and I just started crying. It's like a dam burst.
Yeah.
I knew, and I'm feeling it now, but I knew that he was who he was part of he was my son-in-law. He was my family.
Oh my God, this is so cool. You are taking us into a world that's really important, Sharon. Talking about this right now, I am just like, I think I know a lot of stuff, right? And
Well, you
you were
do.
like opening bam, 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 these worlds of possibilities. And for everybody who is watching this, keep an open mind because this is real. This is who we are. Sharon is sharing with us the multidimensionality that humanity is. When people talk about humans don't even know what we are, when people talk about, oh, we're multidimensional, this is what she's talking about. And part of our awakening is really opening up to that and beginning to experience ourselves on that level. You have completely blown my mind. I'm so excited to start on a new path of learning how to connect with all of this again, Sharon. And you're a teacher, you teach all this.
Mm-hmm. Well,
This
I
is
teach people how to realize their dimensionality. Yes, facilitate. Right, like you facilitate so people can open that up. Right.
oh my
Yeah.
God, this is so amazing. And you know, we're coming on the hour. We maybe even have gone over that. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us that you feel is important here? And you know what, Sharon, we're going to be talking more
Oh
New
yeah.
Earth Rising. We're going to be talking about this stuff more and more and more. You have so much to share. I feel like even as we're talking here, it's like we're just getting the little itty bitty tip of the iceberg
Yeah.
of all that you are. I'm just, oh my gosh. So is there anything else that you would like to share?
Oh
Oh,
gosh. Well, you're too kind, sister.
oh,
Okay. Yeah.
not
Uh,
kind enough here, my
well,
friend.
oh, thank you. Thank you. It's after a while, it just starts to be normal for me when you have these experiences because they're ongoing. And I had an experience with Archangel Michael recently. Yeah. And so it's like they just, I get really, really excited and everything like that. I'm like, oh, and thank goodness I journal everything. I've been journaling everything since 98. But it just becomes, and this is the way we're supposed to be. This is not anything, what I'm experiencing is not really all that crazy because it used to be normal for us.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel. I'm here. Thank God Yeshua sent me back. Thank you, Yeshua. Because I didn't want to have to start over, and relearn all this stuff. But
Yeah, exactly. Huh?
but this is who we are. And this is what I want to, make sure that everyone understands is I'm not anything that's special when it comes to this. It's just that I've had the type of experiences and the dedication, the commitment to clear my stuff. And I had a lot of help. And I trusted the other side. I trusted what I was getting. And so this is something that everyone can experience, your multidimensional selves.
Yeah.
and realize that we are so much more than that what we've been told and programmed to think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I know one thing that's really important, and I want to add this on here. It's so important to journal, because I know, throughout all of our lives, we have experiences similar to what Sharon's talking about.
Hmm.
But when we get back into this third dimensional realm, they tend to disappear, just like dreams. And
Yes.
even dreams are important. Dreams are very, very important.
Yes.
And in understanding that many of us are experiencing these out of body experiences, even without being without consciously doing it. And when you start journaling, you start keeping track, you can really find it. Almost like journaling creates a map of your journey, right?
Perfect.
It creates, and you can look back and say, oh my gosh, that happened. Now I understand this. I'm just having some experiences of stuff that happened a while ago. We were talking about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then I get a little nugget of information. It's like, oh, that's what that was. And sometimes it's 10, 20, 30 years ago. And if we're journeying or journaling our experiences, we have all that written down. And also, and this is something that came to me a while ago too, somebody needs to be documenting what's happening on this planet. Right? There's people that are putting books out, and thank you.
Yes,
It's
totally.
so important that
Hmm.
we each are journaling this journey, because I really feel like I'm actually, Archangel Michael is saying it actually will be, he's saying, to put it simply, uploaded to data banks, to where in the future we will have the true history of what happened, and there
Hmm.
will be no distortion, there'll be no shifting, there'll be no rewriting of history by
Hmm.
the victors. There will just be our personal experiences, so that people will, hybrid people, the elven people, the mer people, will be able to have this history for their own growth and their own understanding.
Right.
And this time and what we go through as humans, with the distortion and the things being hidden in this upside down mirror world that we live in, that will not be into the future how it is, that
Yeah.
we are here shifting the mirror, breaking that mirror. Maybe it's good luck for 7 years instead of bad luck for 7 years, and
Hmm.
taking this upside down world and setting everything up right. And the truth will be known by all, so that we can advance. We're not advancing when we're stuck trying to figure out, which hole to put the shoelace through.
Yeah.
We're still like trying to learn how to tie our shoes, when the vastness of who we are is right there for us.
Beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So again, I interrupt you. Is there
No.
anything else that you want to
No.
share with us before we sign off? And again, we will come back around again and again and again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. This is an ongoing thing with Michelle and I. Yeah. We decided weekly, right, that we'd be bringing our our intuitions and impressions and also conversations and sharings with lots and lots of people.
To
So,
blow
yeah.
your mind.
Hmm.
That should be the name of our show.
Oh, blow your
Let us
mind.
blow your mind.
Let us blow your mind. I love it. No, I just think bottom line, it's all about love and
Yeah.
compassion and, treat each other with love and kindness, the golden rule type of thing.
Yeah.
And we'll be fine. We gotta quit living in a divided society.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was one of the things that I really got. And we'll talk about this another time, but a very interesting connection with Jesus. And he just said, that's all he told us to do.
Mhm.
Just love one another. And he acknowledges it's hard when there's very little true love,
Mhm.
on the planet. But again, we're all growing up. We're all becoming aware. And that's where the love is. We all have it inside of us. We all have it in there. It's our nature. It's who we are.
Yeah, and it starts with loving ourselves.
Yeah,
loving ourselves.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
And that's
So-
been one of the other distortions. It's like, well, you got to love others and then they'll love you. And it's the complete opposite.
The opposite. Yeah. We can't give something we don't have.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's one of
So-
the wonderful outcomes of the whole spiritual. I'm calling it the spiritual revolution now.
Oh, nice.
Is
I love it.
people finally being like, I gotta love myself.
Yeah. And I want to reiterate, because we, Michele and I were together on New Year's Day, and we did on my channel, and you have, and we'll put it up here too. And remember your wings. Remember your wings. I actually found an article, because I know there's that we have wings. Our wings have been cut off.
Yeah.
Where archaeologists have found a whole bunch of remains of winged humans.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm not the least bit surprised.
Yes. So remember your wings. Imagine your wings. You have wings. We've had wings.
Yep.
Yeah, they were cut off. They were they've been cut off.
One of the first communications I had after I received my Reiki training was a huge blue angel in front of me. And she said, I am you. And
Beautiful.
one of the things that tripped me up about her being me was the wings. And the angels have always been there for me. I am so much an angel person, but it's like, I want my wings.
Yeah,
want
that was
my
one of
wings.
the first things that Yeshua was working with me on, was remembering my wings, and he would guide me to stand up and imagine my wings and move my arms up and down with my wings.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And there's something I've heard that that I think it was Corey Good that talked about in the Secret Space Program. They know that there's something in our shoulder blades that sends intuitive information, in our shoulder blades. And that's where I know my wings, that's where they start. That's where they come from.
Right.
So they've been clipped. And so that's how we move our wings intuitively.
Oh, I can almost feel that. Wow. Oh, yes.
My dog is getting very upset with me because this is about her dinner time.
This is about how long she could stand you talking.
Yeah, well, that too, yeah. Without paying
my-
attention. Good thing she can't hear me very well.
Oh, bless her heart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. You freaking fascinate me. And I just feel so blessed. And everybody who is watching this, Sharon teach. I don't know why I want to call you Susan. You must have been a sister Susan in another lifetime, because that's why I want to call you a sister Susan. And I don't think it's Catholic. I think it's my sister Susan.
I do remember a name Susan in a lifetime.
Okay, well, I was probably there.
Yeah.
Sharon has lots to offer you guys. Look her up, check her out, take her classes, get sessions with her, get involved, because she is amazing. She is, she's teaching the next step for humanity. And it's really important. It's really
Aw.
important. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Sharon.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you,
you.
darling. I
This
love
is-
you. It's been so much fun. And I am so excited about our journey together. And I can't wait to talk to you about how you got here. That's next.
Yay! Thank
Mwah.
you.
And thank
Mwah.
you everyone for watching and being here. My hair is a mess. And so tune in. Keep tuning
watching.
in. Yeah.
We're going to keep
watching.
playing together.
And don't forget to
Woohoo!
subscribe, share, all that good stuff, YouTube stuff.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.